my rating eventually too.
Oh,
I don't know if mine went up.
are we rolling?
Updated.
We're rolling.
We are rolling.
Welcome back to Baby Got Stacks.
Welcome back.
This is going to be
We
a
don't like to
very.
be negative.
Oh, I'm going to be one hella negative Nancy in this episode. I tell you what.
Ooh, my it did not update, so I just had
Oh,
to change it again. I haven't seen your rating either.
okay. I haven't seen yours either. I changed mine. I did give it one thing and then I changed it to another this morning after sleeping on it.
Some thoughts. Yeah, same. This was a doozy.
You know,
This
so
is it's gonna be a lot of
we read the Atlas 6.
mm-hmm.
Is
Olivie
it
Blake.
Yeah. You know, it says the New York Times bestseller.
It does.
That's a very bold statement.
It is. Also bolder is the fact that it's not a sticker. It looks like a sticker, but it's actually just printed onto the book.
This should have been the reason why. Yeah.
I just say the cover I think is very cool. I like the cover.
Cover's
This
cool.
looks
And
very
I think the concept
cool.
was cool.
Yes.
How it was executed, not so cool.
Not my jam. Have you seen the Umbrella Academy?
I think I've seen like one episode because Taylor had it on like years ago.
Okay.
I
It gave me
heard of it.
slightly that vibe in the sense of there's these people with powers out in the world and some man comes, gathers them to be a team.
Mm-hmm. Kind of. Yeah. That makes
And
sense.
and it just reminds me of that just because and then shit ensues. But in Umbrella Academy they're collected as babies. And here it was hard to tell. In my brain, they were teenagers. But they're like late 20s, early 30s.
Well, some are. I feel like Nico and Libby, they
Just graduated college.
Oh, yeah, that's true. Okay.
Right? See, in my brain, they kept being teenagers. And
Yeah,
this
because
isn't a YA book. I don't know why
no.
my brain kept. I don't know, man. You want to just read the back and then we can get
Yeah,
into more of
there's
our
a lot of there's
feelings.
gonna be a lot of sighs.
It's gonna be
Okay.
a therapist session today.
Ugh. Each decade, only the 6 most uniquely talented magicians are selected to earn a place in the Alexandrian Society, the foremost secret society in the world. The chosen will secure a life of power and prestige beyond their wildest dreams, but at what cost? Each of the 6 newest recruits has their reason for accepting the society's elusive invitation, even if it means growing closer than they could have imagined to their most dangerous enemies, or risking unforgettable betrayal from their most trusted allies. They will fight tooth and nail for the right to join the ranks of Alexandrians, even if it means they won't all survive the year. So this is the first book.
Yes.
Second one just came out not too long ago.
And then there's a third one coming out.
There's a third. Okay.
Yeah.
I won't read the second.
Neither am I.
There's a one and done.
I barely got through this one.
I'm telling you right now, I wanted to DNF this book so hard.
There were so many times. Well, I wonder what we tried to get through the books that we select for the podcast.
We do it for you guys. Okay?
I think this has been the hardest struggle.
Yeah, even I got through Ninth House. Okay, I mean, it took a while, but I did it. This book, I didn't want to do any of it. I didn't want to touch it. I didn't want to look at it.
It was a chore.
Yes.
I had to get myself to start reading it again.
And I can't even remember. Well, I know their names. So there's 6 people.
Mm-hmm.
There's Libby and Nico, who are physicists who can control matter. Raina is a naturalist. Callum can manipulate people's emotions. Tristan can see through illusions, and Parisa,
Parisa.
she's a telepath.
I kept thinking Teresa in my brain,
That
but
makes
it's
sense.
Parisa. But I don't know what I was. I mean, I didn't really know what this book was about. I don't like to read synopsis. But I had slightly high hopes because it seems so many people were obsessed with this book.
Oh, a lot of
Everyone
people.
loved it. And so going through it, there was way more like sex and stuff than I thought there was going to be.
Parisa definitely was only there for the sex. You can't tell me anything different.
She's
You
there for the good
can't.
time. But also,
Yeah. Her and
my
Dalton, she
brain
was
kept thinking it
obsessed
was
with
a
him.
YA book. So it was just really conflicting thoughts.
Well, and so there was way too many POVs.
Literally all of them.
Yeah, there's
all
6 of
six
them.
and the occasional 7.
And my brain, from Ezra. My brain cannot comprehend. And also, I love details in books. It really brings it to life. I almost want to say there was too much detail in this book. My brain couldn't comprehend it.
It was a little unnecessary. I was reading some, like I skimmed a good portion
Oh,
of some
100%.
parts, and it
100%.
was like, describing something. It's like, okay, cool, I got the picture, and then it kept describing, and I was like,
And it got
I
really
get
into
it.
the like magic of it, which is cool to a sense, but I feel like there was just
too much.
it just got like too much into the like science and the physics,
Yeah.
especially with like the wormholes and
the time jumping,
yeah.
which I thought was cool. At points, it confused me, which I'm sure I could have logicked through. I just didn't care to. I did not care enough to figure it out completely. And I wasn't that invested in the characters. They were fine.
I felt like they really played on Libby being like super insecure, and it kind of annoyed me.
It was consistently
Tristan drove me nuts that he didn't care that his fiance was cheating on him with his best friend. He drove me absolutely nuts. Callum couldn't care about anyone. Raina, the plants talked to her.
Raina,
Mother, okay.
Mother. It creeped me out a little bit. Not gonna lie.
I almost Blake had a perfect opportunity to put Libby and Nico as enemies to lovers.
Yeah.
And she doesn't.
And doesn't. Well,
I mean, towards the end,
it doesn't happen.
No.
It's up for debate on how that's going.
It is up
I guess
for
if you
debate.
really want to find out, read the next few books, but I don't care to.
I'm not going to.
You have to really like the characters, I feel like, to continue. And I mean, there are pictures of them in here, which is really cool. I really liked that.
Really cool concept, yeah. But there was just so many people. There was like, so Nico also has Gideon and I don't know
Mac.
Yeah,
just throwing the book.
So Gideon is like, he's multiple.
I forget. He's half something, half mermaid. I only really know the mermaid part.
Yeah, his mom's mermaid, and she just like appears.
Yeah,
and it's just, and he can travel through dreams.
But so can Nico, kinda.
Yeah.
Apparently.
So there was like that whole thing. Then there's Dalton, who lives at the Alexandria Society like place.
Yeah. He's like one of the teachers, I guess. It was almost cool. It was just a lot. If it selected a few of those ideas to focus on, especially since this is going to be a series, it can delve into everything later on, so it's not so overwhelming. And the fact that there was so many things and I didn't care as much, I was just like, eh. And
it was
so
just too much. Yeah, it was just too much information.
I didn't want to work through it. And then I went on, once I put in my rating, which we can get into our ratings in a bit, but
Mhm.
once I got into put in my final rating, I was looking at, I follow some of the other people and creators that I really like,
Mhm.
and I was looking at their reviews, and some were 5s, some were 2s. And it's like, oh, I didn't realize how
Yeah, it's either you love it or you hate
controversial
it.
this one was.
Yeah. And it did start getting interesting when the group breaks into the building for the first time and they're like having to work together.
Yeah.
I was like,
See, that was
okay.
cool. It still had me at the beginning.
Yeah, I was like, okay, I could
I
get
was
into
still
this.
there. I was like, ooh, yeah.
Then it took a nosedive. Then I was like,
Hmm.
meh.
At that point, it felt more, I just kept like thinking about TV shows and movies apparently, but oh, what is the Kingsman movie?
I've heard of that. I have not seen it.
Oh, you should watch it. It's pretty good.
Yeah, I've
But
heard
there's this
it's
Kingsman service, and then each like one of the head up guys selects a kid to, well, I mean
okay.
they're older, but like someone to join,
Yeah.
and so they're all like competing for the position. They can all be selected or not, I'm pretty sure.
Okay.
Anyways, some of the tasks were to work together despite them being competitive,
Makes sense.
which is always interesting to see how teamwork goes when you kind of hate everybody.
Yeah.
But they all have like different skill sets and you can really see those shine. And I was still into that whole, it felt heisty,
Yeah.
which was
Okay.
fun. And then I don't know, what was that? Maybe like the first quarter, first third.
That was like the first 100 pages, and there was still like 200
Oh my
plus left.
God. I kept reading. I thought I was knocking out so many pages. I just took in so much information and I
Yeah.
look and I hadn't even reached 100.
They're tall pages. They're
They're
taller
tall
than
pages. And that just goes to show there's so much information. You feel like you've consumed so much of this book and then you like close your
yeah.
book to check where your bookmark is because we all do that.
Yeah.
And you're like, oh, I'm at 75. Cool.
Yeah, it was just really long and I j- I couldn't do it.
Yeah.
It
I
was just
think
too
if we
much.
had managed to, maybe if this was just in Nico and Libby's perspective, and then we focus on Nico and Libby,
Yeah.
and then slowly learn more about the other characters rather than balancing everybody's perspective, everyone's goals, and
It yeah, it also was very obvious when when Atlas said that only 5 people will be chosen out of the 6. I was like, oh, the
yeah,
6th one's gonna die. Like this
is
isn't
gonna die. Yeah,
this is very
it
easy.
wasn't a surprise for me. The ending, um, with Libby
Ending
getting kidnapped
and Ezra
and as they're
turn
doing the
I was like,
switcheroos, I was like, oh
okay,
hey.
okay.
I was like, oh, Ezra coming back into the story. I'm like, oh shit, now I have to pay attention to Ezra back in the story.
That's valid.
I was like,
Yeah,
fuck.
he does get very needy, which I mean, she's very. I mean, they have to be very secretive of where they are. There's like a
Hmm.
whole thing. They're gone for years. Like it makes
Yeah,
sense. But I'm like, okay, calm down.
yeah.
I
But she's
just
also gaining more confidence and stuff, and so like it's getting annoying at a certain point.
yeah,
Back it the fuck down.
that whole thing with Libby Tristan and what's her
Teresa.
face? I was like,
Teresa. I
what?
didn't
I
see
was like,
that
this
coming.
was a turn of events.
I know. I was like, wow.
I
And
was
then
like,
they
you
never talk about it again.
well, and then it's like you make this book and you talk about how like Libby's so like self-conscious and it's so easy to like bring her down and all this stuff, and
Yeah,
then you do that, and I'm like, what is happening? I feel
I
like they were
know.
trying to save the character by like, okay, I could get into this, but it made me more confused.
Mm-hmm. Really
I
did. I don't know what's going on here.
I just didn't.
Yeah.
This whole book, I
What a
just didn't.
time. Do you want to go into our ratings?
So I gave it a 2.
I gave it a 2.
I gave it a 1
Oh,
originally. But then I brought it up because I did like the Ezra twist with him actually being part of it. I did appreciate that twist.
I had originally given it a 3
Okay.
because I can see how people would like this. Like, I see the allure.
Mm-hmm.
And the more I thought about it, I was like, I really could not care less. Like,
Yeah.
if it still interested me enough where I'd be like, oh, I'll pick up the sequel if I got the chance. Like, I don't even care. If the sequel was $1,
I wouldn't read it.
I still wouldn't get it and read it.
No, I wouldn't read it. And honestly, this is the second fantasy where I'm like, I can't.
I know. I
Which
was really
makes
hoping
me
this be the one for you.
because I do. Okay, I like fantasy when it's like witches and magic, like that kind of stuff.
You do
I
love
like.
witches.
And I did, guys, I did buy the first book of Akhtar now because I've been so scared and traumatized by all of these
All the
fantasy ones.
fantasies.
I only bought the first one. I normally buy the entire series at the same
Ugh.
time. I just bought the first
Progress.
one.
Look at her thrive.
I know. I just bought the first one because I'm too scared.
I own them all. Haven't.
Should we get into my rowdy 1-star reviews? Because
Get into
I
some rowdy
feel like
one
these are gonna be
stars.
good.
They're gonna be cathartic.
So on Goodreads, this is a 3.66.
That's lower than I thought it was originally. Huh.
I'm sure people have gone back to It's only 154,830 people have rated it. It's mostly 4 stars. So let's get to these 1 stars. A lot of people DNF'd it. This book is pure trash, and I blame TikTok for setting my expectations way too high. I agree.
Yeah, there's that.
I agree. I felt betrayed by the book talk community. Yep. Couldn't tell you the number of times this book put me to sleep. The only thing worse than this book was the fact that I bought it.
Oh my god, this book was $19.
Did we buy it? Or I don't know.
I don't know.
Oh, I don't know. I don't know where I got mine.
Mine looks.
It's not written in, so I don't know.
No.
This book was a giant dick measuring contest.
That's very accurate.
Not wrong. Yeah, it's just
it was
a lot of people were like, due to the hype, I thought this was gonna be great. So many positive reviews, and I'm extremely disappointed. Overhyped and boring. What a waste of time, honestly.
It's very specific to its genre. Fantasy, dark academia.
The cover is the best part of this book.
Agreed. I like the cover.
Yeah. This book was essentially about them reading books in the library. Yeah, I just...
The first sentence in her acknowledgments. I can't believe I keep writing things and you keep reading them.
Not anymore.
Nope. What else has she written? Or is this kind of her only? Because I feel like Olivie Blake sounds very familiar.
I still have Goodreads up.
Nice.
Alone with You in the Ether. Ether.
Oh, I've heard of that.
That one with the blue cover.
Yeah.
And feathers.
Yeah. Okay.
The Atlas Paradox, which is the second one.
Right. Yeah.
One for My Enemy. Oh, she wrote that with someone. There's a Sacred Hospitality, which is the 0.5 version of the Atlas 6.
Oh. Maybe not. This might be like her first big.
And then the Atlas Complex, which is the third book coming out in January.
Oh, January. Because I do know this book was originally self-published.
But it's beautiful.
I know. I love the self-published covers.
It's wonderful.
That is a really pretty book. and then it got picked up, I guess, by Tor. Damn, I think this is the first Tor book I haven't enjoyed.
Yeah, I just I can't do it, guys.
I guess to answer some questions, we're not reading the sequel.
I'm not reading the sequel.
Done.
Spice level. I mean, they didn't really go into depth. I mean,
no, really but the fact that it was there, do keep that in mind.
That's true. It did keep that in mind. Yeah.
So yeah, how would you classify its genre? I'd say fantasy, dark academia.
I feel like just those two.
I don't know. I feel like it should have something else because it really throws me off. It could be part, like, the bigger world of it all could be really cool to explore, but because apparently there's mermaids.
Which I'm interested.
So
she's a mermaid?
A book about
Tell me more.
Oh my gosh, I don't think I've read a book about mermaids.
I would be intrigued. I do love a good witch book. Oh, I do love a good witch book.
Oh, that reminds me. We need to come up with the October spooky season schedule.
So excited.
Maybe we can do that because I'm basically done talking about this book. If you want a copy of it, specifically my copy, go to Browder's Bookstores, for which I will be giving my copy to.
Abe's going to have 2 copies of these books because that's exactly where mine's going. I've got a pile of books that I'm going to be donating at some point.
I got a bag going of disappointments, and once it's full, I will go to Browder's.
We should walk in there. Here's our bag of disappointment. Here you go.
Yeah. You don't need to listen to our podcast. You can just know by what we bring you.
Pretty much.
What a time.
Yeah, I don't recommend. So
recommend.
I don't recommend. Maybe it's just us. I don't know. Very excited for next week, though. Let's get on to.
I don't even know what's next week's. I haven't looked.
Believe me, I literally have our our Instagram up. I had to look it up.
Okay, that'd be a good pick me up.
Unfortunately Yours, which is the second book in that series.
Yes, Miss Tessa Bailey.
I hope. I'm intrigued on the sex scenes for this because the first one had a lot of dirty knees, and I'm
dirty knees.
Intrigued by Unfortunately Yours.
Oh, do you think it's gonna be elbows this time?
If it isn't, I will be throwing elbows.
It's been a while since we had a romance, so that'll be nice.
Yeah, I'm very excited. Also, I saw on TikTok that Tessa Bailey is writing a sports trilogy. Yes. One is about a golfer. Second one is about a hockey player. The third one, I think it's also a hockey player. The hockey player and like the main guy in the second book's stepdaughter or something. Oh, there's a correlation between the second and the third book. So I'm very excited.
And in other book news, Emily Henry has announced a new book. It's going to be called Funny Story. I'm trying to think. There was like a decent amount of book news.
There also, oh goodness, I had it up on here. The person that writes Finley Donovan has another 2 books coming out.
Oh yeah, apparently that's gonna be a long.
But why can't I
series? I need to get to that second one. Just thus far, people didn't enjoy the second one as much, but kept going, and then the third lost some people.
Well, the third one is about the babysitter.
Oh.
The person that helps her at the end. Why can't?
Oh, I think Richard Osman, who wrote the Thursday Murder Club, is coming out with another one.
Love that. Oh yeah, so the third one's Finley Donovan Jumps the Gun, which came out January of this year. Yeah, I believe. Yeah, when Finley and her nanny partner in crime, Vero, accidentally destroy a luxury car that they had borrowed in the process of saving the life of Finley's ex-husband, the Russian mob did her a favor and bought the car for her, and now she owes them.
Why are we saving the ex-husband? Why do we
I know.
care?
And then the fourth book is called Finley Donovan Rolls the Dice, and it's her
Are they in Vegas?
rolling the dice
Rolling
car.
huge ass dice out of the car.
They are in sore need of a girls' weekend. They plan a trip to Atlantic City, but odds are, seen as it's actually a cover story to negotiate a deal with a dangerous loan shark, save Vera's childhood crush Javi, and hunt down a stolen car. It won't be all fun and games. Interesting.
Well, we really need to pick up the pace on some of our series.
Huh. I know.
I say that now. Watch nothing change.
There's no way I'm getting through to that. Yeah, there's no way. I did go a little crazy on Book of the Month, and
did you get multiple?
No, but I'm getting the shark one because I've seen way too many. Did you not see this? Hold on, guys.
What's
it called? Shark Heart. It's so crazy that I'm intrigued. And everyone's been giving 5 stars on it. It's about a newlywed couple. You're gonna get a kick out of this.
I'm ready to kick.
Actually, you know what? I'm gonna look it up and I'm gonna read it to you. It is by Emily Habich. This is her first book ever.
Okay.
The cover is beautiful.
Yeah, I really liked the cover. I remember seeing that one.
But you did not read what it was about.
I did not.
Oh, it's so crazy, but everyone has been loving it. For Lewis and Wren, their first year of marriage is also their last. A few weeks after their wedding, Lewis receives a rare diagnosis. He will retain most of his consciousness, memories, and intellect, but his physical body will gradually turn into a great white shark.
Sold. Already sold.
At first, she internally resists her husband's fate. Is there a way for them to be together after Lewis changes? Then a glimpse of his developing carnivorous nature activates long repressed memories for Wren about her childhood living on a houseboat in Oklahoma. And then she has an unusual friendship with a woman pregnant with twin birds. I had to get it. I was so intrigued. I laughed at this. And then it's gotten, look at all of those 5-star ratings. Damn. Everyone is loving this book.
It's a romance, or is it
this is a love story, but unlike one I've ever read before. It's
Well, my one question was what body of water is in Oklahoma, but that's probably the least concerning thing about the synopsis.
Not the turning into a great white shark or the person that's pregnant.
I get it.
It says women throughout this bold novel is the story of Wren's mother, Angela, who becomes pregnant with Wren at 15 in an abusive relationship amongst her parents' crumbling marriage. It's about a life's questions, the fragility of memories, finding joy amongst grief, and creating a meaningful life. I'm just so intrigued that this person, her very first book ever, she wrote about a guy turning into a shark.
Go big, go home.
So that was a book of the month. I went with it.
With book of the month, I didn't read anything because the Lisa Jewell one and the Isabel Cañas, the vampire one. I already knew it was gonna be one of those two. I chose about the vampires month because she also wrote the Hacienda.
Oh, okay.
I have that as a book of the month. And then my Lisa Jewells. I do have hardcover apparently, but none of them are book of the month. So
yeah, then that's easy one. Yeah, I was trying to figure out. I was gonna go with I don't remember which one I was thinking of going with. It was the very first.
Good.
It was the very first one that gave us the options. I don't know if it shows us the
See if I
options.
can pull it
Does
up.
it show us the options anymore? Since we already chose.
It should allow.
Yeah, I don't know.
August. Oh, there we go. Happiness Falls was lit pick. The family lore, the magical realism I heard was.
It was either
That was fun.
I was going to go with the Happiness Falls one. I don't know if you read the
No, I didn't.
thing about that, but it basically was about oh, let me see. It's about Mia, 20-year-old daughter. She has an explanation for everything, but when her father and younger brother Eugene don't return from a walk in a nearby park, she just thinks they must have like lost their phone or stopped for an errand somewhere. But by the time that her brother runs through the front door bloody and alone, it becomes clear that the father in this tight-knit family is missing, and the only witness is Eugene, who has a rare genetic condition, who he can't speak at all. So it's like a ticking time clock of like where the father is, and it's also like about maybe they have like some personal secrets that may be the heart of the disappearance, and it's about a Korean American family in Virginia. So there's kind of like about race and language. I was very intrigued by that, but then I read about the guy turning into a shark, and I was sold.
I'd heard things about family lore, Elizabeth Acevedo. I heard that was really good. I won't just keep making you guys listen to synopsis, but
they had some good ones.
There was a good list.
Yeah, so I'm intrigued.
Keep us updated on that shark one, man.
I will. I was talking to my coworker Jamie about it. I was like, "Do you want to hear this wild concept of a story?" Because she's trying to get back into reading, so I told her about it. She sends me a picture. She subscribed to Book of the Month and got the shark book.
Nice. Did she use your code?
No, she didn't tell me she was going to do it. I was like, why wouldn't you tell me? You could have texted me. I could have given you the code.
Yeah, you would have gotten a free credit, and she would have gotten her first one for like $5.
I know. I told her. She was going to buy it through Amazon. She was like, but it was pretty expensive. I was like, yeah, don't do that.
I bet. No, Book of the Month is great. I need to re-sign up and do a whole year's worth again, because that was really nice.
Yeah, I just do it month by month because I just never know.
Just in case. Yeah. I'm excited to see what they choose for October.
Oh, it's gonna be great.
Book of the Month sponsor us.
Wouldn't that be wonderful? Oh my goodness.
That'd be great.
That would be great.
What's practically a whole bookcase.
You do. It's magical.
Just Book of the Month books.
I'm sure I will at some point. I'm starting to run out of space.
Probably.
I'm putting them in putting them in my closet.
Putting them where they can fit instead of displayed nicely. One day.
One day. It's gonna be my dream.
Yeah. Well, if you want to help us with that dream, go ahead and follow us wherever you're listening to this podcast. Check out our Instagram, Baby Got Stacks Podcast. We have a link in the bio of where else you can find us, like TikTok or mostly Goodreads.
Yeah.
We're actually active on Goodreads.
We
you can see what else we're reading and the updates and reviews we give there. Yeah, like us wherever you're listening to this too. You can check out our episodes on YouTube as well now. They're about a week behind, so when I post this one, last week's will be live.
Yes.
Just give our podcast listeners almost like a early release type of thingamabob.
Yes.
We'll be choosing our October schedule soon. What month is it? August, September, October. Cool.
We're getting there.
Nice. It's almost our 1-year anniversary of this podcast. That's in September. We're trying to figure out what we want to do for that.
It's wild.
I know, how crazy. I think I'll do it. Sorry about this book. If you like it, you can keep liking it. Don't worry about us.
Yeah, everyone's different. It's just not our cup of tea. So, you live and you learn.
You live and you learn.
You live and you learn.
Sometimes you just gotta take the hit of buying a book.
Exactly. Exactly. You'll never know until you try it. We tried it. We don't like it.
And it was a no.
What?
Well, all right, guys. We'll see you next week.
Bye, guys.
Bye.